So welcome everyone. Good morning. My name is Eleni Sommerschield and I am joined by the beautiful and lovely Tamara Inzunza.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tamara. So I'm excited to have Tamara on with me today. So I'm going to let everyone keep joining in. I know there's quite a few of you joining in, so we're going to let that go for a minute before we officially start. So if everyone wants to use the chat, so just post where you are coming from this morning, or maybe afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in, where you're in this country. So if you want to use the chat and just let us know where you're at, that would be lovely. So we can just say hi to everyone and then use the chat to ask us any questions. And then you can also use the chat, the Q&A portion for questions and answers as well. So,
oh, cool. People are starting to chime in. Look at that.
Yeah, so awesome. From all over. Someone from Oak Park, Illinois. I'm from Chicago, so yay, Illinois.
Good morning, everybody. This is exciting.
I know. So we are, so we'll get it started here. A couple of things that I want to remind everyone of. This is being recorded. I tried going on Facebook Live. It's not really working. It says preparing, but it's not.
Facebook Live was not cooperating with us this morning.
So unfortunately, we're not on Facebook Live, but we're recording this and everyone will get a copy of the recording at the end of the webinar. So don't worry if you miss out or if you have to step away, we'll send you the recording. Feel free to post things in the chat as well as the Q&A, and we'll answer those as well. All right, so to officially kick it off, Tamara, welcome.
Thank you.
So Tamara has been actively selling real estate for the past 23 years. This is her second full-time career after graduating college and working as a software engineer and database programmer. So she's one of my people. So I too come from.
We can talk bits and bytes.
I know, exactly. I love it. I love it. So she recently joined Realty ONE Group after 15 years at RE/MAX and achieving Hall of Fame status there. So she is located in Alexandria, Virginia. I love Virginia. It's a fun place to visit. And works primarily with first-time home buyers and military families in the area there. So she also holds her CRS designation since 2003 and currently using her real estate digital marketer certification to promote her listings across different social media platforms and grow her business by targeting her niche markets. So
hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, and so Tamara has been really, she and I met through the Wise Agent community on Facebook. So we met there online, and then just earlier this year, I had gone to somewhere in Florida, I think it was. I don't know.
Yes, it was the CRS celebration in Orlando, Florida, earlier this February.
That's right. So that's where we met in person, and I got to know her a little bit better, and I invited her to join me on a webinar. I know she's a really active user of Wise Agent and in her community and selling, and so I thought she would be really someone of value that you guys can see what she's doing and take some tips and hints, and I'll you know, pour in my, put in my 2 cents on some things as well. So, so welcome, and I'm excited to start off. So we've got people from like all over the country.
It is great to see so many people up and active and ready to learn. I love it. I love it.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, all right, so let's get started. So, hello, oh, Kimberly Goyana, hello from the hills. So I am in
Arlington, yes.
Fountain Hills, Arizona.
Oh, the Virginia represent.
So we're representing our hometowns are here. So yes, thank you for supporting us. So we're going to be talking about CRM metrics and tracking your real estate goals, tracking your commissions, just tracking in your metrics within your CRM and how that can be done through Wise Agent and just some like best tips and best practices of using those metrics and using some of our tools within Wise Agent.
Yeah.
So again, just a reminder, if you have questions, please feel free to put those in the Q&A or in the chat. Okay.
Yep.
All right, awesome. So, Tamara, first, I think one of the questions I want to ask you is, I know you've been, so you've been in real estate for 23 years. So that's a good amount of time there. I wanted to just ask you what brought you over to Wise Agent and why you started using Wise Agent as your CRM.
Absolutely. I was a top producer user for a couple of years. And with my background in computer programming, to me, it was just, I couldn't stand it. And so I was one of these people, I would use something, but then I also had my own, spreadsheets. I had, a spreadsheet to track one thing, a spreadsheet to track something else. And I had my real estate database in the CRM. And I always was at a challenge to find a CRM where I could just stop putting things in multiple places and just finally have everything in one place. So that's how I ended up at with Wise Agent. I will say that I did coaching with another company in between. I did some coaching with a company that had their own CRM, but still, it still didn't have everything that I needed. And I started with the free trial for Wise Agent, and I immersed myself into the Wise Agent YouTube channel. You guys do a really good job of explaining everything, going step by step. And even though I have that type of background, I also have a C personality. So I'm very detailed, and I'm the type of person where I have to watch something anywhere from, I would say, 2 to maybe 5 times in order for it to click. And so watching the Wise Agent YouTube channel really helped me to get comfortable with the platform, and to just take a look and say, okay, I can do this. Now I can stop using my spreadsheet and I can put this into my CRM. So I appreciate how the length that the Wise Agent support goes through in creating the videos and breaking down every little task.
Yeah, and so I mean, I think that's a really good, topic to discuss too. Is having things on spreadsheets, or is sometimes that's, you have to do that, right? I mean, we all
Right.
use spreadsheets in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
But I think there's certain spreadsheets that you probably shouldn't be using, and allowing the CRM to do that for you. Your contact management, because
Right.
a spreadsheet is going to be really difficult to put in. Like with a lot of your contacts, you have to keep up with notes and keep up with things, where
Yes.
that's really difficult to have just one field that you really can put all your notes in, and that just becomes really long and tedious. But if
Yes.
you
And
have been,
cumbersome. Yes, indeed.
and cumbersome, yeah. And if you have been using that, it's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of or anything like that. What we do here, and we do it all day long for a lot of our users, is we help import those files into Wise Agent. We have a tool that will do it for you, and we can even train you on how to do it yourself. So if you have multiple files that you want to do, or if you're just like, ooh, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, you want us to take it over, for sure, you can send that into our support, and they do a great job of making sure that all the data gets entered in there properly for you.
Yeah. And
So,
another thing, every agent doesn't track the same things. If you're working more so with buyers, you're going to track more buyer side activities. If you're a listing specialist, you're going to have more listing activities. If you're coaching with one particular coach, you might have another set of things that you track. So one of the things that I really like about the goal tracker with Wise Agent, and this is something that I worked on with my coach, is we went down and we created our own list. Okay, these are the things that I want you to focus on, and these are the things that I want you to report to me weekly, sometimes daily, but definitely weekly and monthly. So I had the conversation, or a coaching session with my coach, where we came up with the list of things that she wanted to hold me accountable for. And I was able to create my own customized list in the goal tracker. So that's something that I can work one-on-one with my coach on. It doesn't limit me to a proprietary company's, what their focus is. So in using the goal tracker with Wise Agent, I was able to navigate and kind of create that custom list that was specific to me and my coach.
Yeah, and I'm going to share my screen, so I'm not going to have Tamara share her screen at all here today, but I'm going to share my screen. Let me get some of these things out of the way for myself. What I wanted to share is our goal tracker and how
Yes.
this can be used. I think, you know, a lot of times people are like, well, why do I have the weekly? And I know Tamara, you had asked me this too last week, like, why do you have weekly and monthly? Is it, you know, is it the same? Is it different? It's the same. It's the same goal. You know, so you'll see listing appointments set and weekly and monthly. It's just that some people, you know, like myself, I, you know, do things on a week basis. So I don't do the like month view. That even on my calendar, I don't do a month view because to me that's just way too overwhelming.
Yeah.
I have a lot going on throughout my days, and then I like keeping it in smaller bites. And so this is great where you can just even have it on your mobile. It's really easy to just click on like track, and then, you know, just track this one thing, and then let that, you know, let that add up for you, where you can see how that would be, you know, then just tracked, and then you can view on your monthly, it'll do the calculations for you, where it would show, okay, well, you were supposed to do 12 in 1 month and you're at 3. So you can go back and forth between the two. And then of course the reporting. And one of the things with the reportings is that, let me find a month where we get.
And I love the visual of the goal tracker, because, you know, even if you're behind, you can see, okay, you can see where you are, you can see where you need to be. And it just looks better than a plain old spreadsheet, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it really is about, I mean, and I love the annual goals because this will keep you accountable for your annual goals, your financial. But then these short-term goals are really what will help you, you know, get to that annual goal. You need to have steps to get there. It can't just be like, well, I want to do, you know, 2 million or whatever, 20 million in gross annual sales. Well, how do I get there? How do I do that? And so that's what these short-term goals will help you do. And then, you know, that accountability, we're talking about coaching. I think the accountability portion is right here. Even if you have a coach or if you don't have a coach, you can, you know, if you have a coach, you can share your screen on a Zoom like this and say, here, coach, this is what I've been working on over, you know, X number of days or weeks, whatever. And then you can also, you know, do a screenshot. You can look at this and look through it throughout the month to see, like, where are you at and what's happening? What made you slip up over here and over here? And so what can you do? I mean, you're obvious, you know, like if we're taking a look at this here, it's like, I'm almost hitting it. I can do it because I have done it here. So what happened during these weeks that I did it that could help me improve when the weeks that aren't down, you know, when I'm down on things.
And Eleni, let me just also say that we have a very active Facebook group here with the Wise Agent community. So even my recommendation, if you don't have the coach right now, or if you feel like you can't afford a coach right now, just post in the community, because I'm a member of several Facebook groups, and I actually connected with 2 other people, and we created our own accountability group of just 3 people. And you can use the goal tracker, especially if everyone in your group is a member of Wise Agent. And this is something that you can help to hold yourself, you can use to hold yourself accountable. And when you get your business to that point where you can afford to bring a coach on, you know, hopefully that'll help you to springboard up to the next level. But even, I just don't want people to say, oh, well, I don't have a coach. You can have an accountability partner. So that's one of the benefits of being part of the Wise Agent Facebook group.
Yeah, I know there's several in our community that have, from coast to coast that have been reached out, have built relationships
Yes.
through our Wise Agent community. And that's wonderful to hear. And even for myself, I mean, that's how I met you.
Yes,
It
and
was
we're all
just,
in different states. My
right.
accountability group, we're all in different states.
Yeah.
So,
And
and you
so,
can learn people who are outside of your market area.
yeah, and I think that's so important, especially right now, what's happening. I mean, I'm not really sure. Virginia wasn't too much in the news, so I'm not really sure how much you guys were hit with the whole COVID and lockdown. Was Virginia an essential, was real estate an essential state?
We
Essential.
remained essential and we went on lockdown the end of March. So right around March 30th, March 31st, we went on lockdown. However, we were able to continue all of our real estate activities. So we were able to continue to do open houses, but a lot of people, including myself, a lot of people pulled back on it just to kind of, limit the interaction and to make sure that we were maintaining social distancing. I actually did a virtual open house. I did my first virtual open house as a result of COVID.
Yeah, and I think, I don't think the virtual stuff is going to go away, even when
Right.
COVID does kind of dissipate. I don't think it will go away just because it does serve a purpose. There are people that, still are looking to buy, a house or do something, but maybe they're just really extremely busy and can't get to it, or,
Right.
there's other factors that come into play. But I think virtual will be, something continuing. And I know for myself, I travel quite a bit, or at least I did
Mhm.
pre-COVID. And so, that really did come to a screeching halt in March. And and will last through the end of this year. I mean, real estate isn't doing many events. I have heard there's a few that are coming back in March next year, but even those are kind of like still up in the air. You're not really sure.
Right.
And
Right.
so the webinars and just interacting with people and building that relationships. After all, that's what this is all about: is building relationships and committing to that, and
Yeah.
really reaching out and finding out how people are.
Yeah, because even with, I work with a lot of military for people, PCSing like to the Pentagon and Fort Belvoir. So I was doing virtual buyer consults, but I just wasn't calling them that. I
Right.
was Skyping and Google Hangouts, and I was FaceTiming showings,
Mhm.
before COVID. So
Right.
COVID just, it just highlighted that activity a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I mean, for me, when we bought a house a few years ago, 3, 4 years ago, I live here in Arizona, and I like my backyard to be full of sun. I mean, even in this blistering heat, sometimes I regret it, but I still, I want like full sun in my
Mhm.
backyard because I like to lay out. And it was like, well, I'm at work, between, 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. usually. I can't get out to see what the
Right.
backyard is going to look like at that time. And usually weekends, I want to spend time with my family and not go on different showings. So it was, I had my agent go out and do, FaceTime, like, okay, this is what it looks like during, noon when you want to be
Mhm.
outside, or this is what it looks like at 3. And so now, I mean, there's other tools that have been created and have come up through COVID to help with that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. So again, things happen out of just out of whatever you're in, whatever the environment is in that
Yes.
we're doing. So that's wonderful. And I know you have been, speaking of buying and selling too, you are using also our transaction management, so our checklist.
Yes. And
That,
that has been a lifesaver for me. I love, love, love the transaction management, which in my opinion, the previous CRM that I was using, that was the big piece that they were lacking. So again, watching the YouTube videos, and I have, of course, my own, Word document of the step-by-step that I do whenever a buyer goes under contract, whenever you take a listing and when the listing goes under contract. So I was able to completely transform, or not transform, but completely transfer line item by line item, everything from my to-do list into the Wise Agent checklist.
mhm.
The ability to add all of the dates that you need, to add the contingency periods, the expiration dates, And the biggest thing I would say is the unlimited document storage. So I'm able to upload the executed contract, all of the contract addenda, a copy of the home warranty invoice, a copy of the repair invoices. I'm able to keep that in one secure location. And for me, that was huge. That was, I would say that was the biggest piece for me to stick with Wise Agent because of that unlimited document storage. And, you know, I can't tell anyone to use or not use their company's software, but using myself as an example, I recently changed companies. And so the fact that I have my information, I'm able to keep it in Wise Agent.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, my information comes with me. You know, I don't have to worry about downloading it, exporting it, you know, importing it, and making sure that I'm not locked out of it. So that was huge for me in deciding to stick with Wise Agent.
Yeah, that, I mean, and you bring up an excellent point there. I mean, just when you make a decision like that, using your broker provided or your company provided CRM, there's two things that I always say that you want to look for. One, is it easy for you to, you know, take your data back and then, you know, use it somewhere else and start somewhere else, if you were to leave. And then the second thing is read the fine print. So like if you do upload your contacts and everything in your CRM, what is happening with that data? Who ends up being the owner of that data? What, you just want to read the fine print and just be aware of it so that knowing that you're going to put your family and friends, because in your CRM, you should have, and it doesn't matter what CRM you're using, you should have every single person that you know in your CRM. And you should be using that to keep in touch with them, keep track of them, keeping notes. It doesn't matter if they're not buying or selling real estate from you at this moment in time, but you want to know and keep in contact with your cousins and your and you're able to help them with that process. Because I can't tell you how many times I've read and even heard from people saying like, oh, my cousin just bought, you know, a house with a different agent. And it's like,
I mean, that's going to happen. That's just
it
par
is
for the course.
It is going to happen. But I think that if it happens because they didn't realize that you were a realtor, that's a problem, that you're not putting, you know, you're not keeping in touch with them. You're not giving them the information that you're an agent. So if they were like, oh, I didn't realize that you do that for a living. It's like, well, why didn't people know that about you?
Right. We can't be secret agents.
Right. Exactly. Yes. That's a good one.
So I see a question in the chat from Ron, and he's asking, Tamara, do you use a template for your checklist? Absolutely. And Ron, I am happy to share that with you if that would be of benefit. Eleni, just let me know how I can share my template. Yes. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, and so also for Ron and for everyone out there, so you have to use a template in order to use our checklist, right? So what Tamara's done is she went in there and she created her own templates. This is not her account, but she went in and created a template and put in every single thing that every task that she needed to get just be as organized as possible and not miss any steps, right? Yes. That's a really important part of it.
Yeah.
And so what you can do, and we have this feature called outside team members within Wise Agent. So anyone that wants to connect with Tamara, if you're using Wise Agent, all you have to do is you just go to your outside team page here, and you can send a request. So you have to get Tamara's email address and add her as a team member. And so I just need to put in her email address. You can write her a brief message, and then it sends the request, and then you guys are connected. So you can see this is Rachel Green's account. I'm connected in here, and when I go into my templates, so as let's say Rachel Green, I can share this now with my account. I can send this to Brandon. I can send this to Holly Golightly. I can share this across. And it's not actually the checklist itself. So it's not like me when I created a transaction off of that that template that I'm sharing. What I'm sharing is just the template portion of it. So
Sure.
that is something that is most definitely, you can connect with Tamara through our Wise Agent community.
Yeah, I'm happy to
And
share
then,
that. And I would say start with, because every state is different, every region is different, and every office is different. So start with the information that you have to provide to your broker. And then start with the dates for the contracts. And then of course you have the contacts and then the activities. And because I want to say it took me a good full day, because I wanted to make sure that when I created my template, I didn't leave anything out.
right.
So, and so now the fact that it's done, it just makes it easy. And, you know, I can say to my virtual assistant, okay, it's done, go ahead and add it.
Yeah. And that's something that's really important, is when you have, I mean, even when you're doing these, you can see, and let me share my screen, we've built it where you can see, so once you're in a checklist, when you start checking these things off, like, you know, that you're getting this done. Did I check?
Yeah, because everybody's not going to have the same fields.
Right. They're not going to have the same fields. And so I think using Tamara's template as your starting point for yourself to then figure out, okay, what details do I need to have in there? So you can see really how detail oriented it should be and needs to be. And then once you start doing all of these tasks, we even have built in just even some metrics here for you to see how much of those tasks you've completed.
Yes.
So then you can come in here and see, like, okay, I'm like 50% done, or I'm 10%
exactly.
done.
And who among us has not waking up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, I forgot to order that termite inspection.
Right. Yeah. And
this is a great way to help keep you on track, because nobody wants to wake up in termite inspection sweat.
Right. And so it needs to be, so once you come in here and you can see as I'm clicking these things off, you can see, so now I'm 20% completed.
Right.
And I can just take a glance at this and see, okay, well, what is it that I need to do to get this completed? And if you're working with, you know, multiple transactions at one time, I think one of my favorite things is the matrix view. I don't know if you use that. Do you use the matrix view, Tamara, or no?
I do, yes.
Okay. So I love the matrix. This is one of my favorite things. And I think it's because we have that technical background too, is because now I don't need to see everything. I just need to see, like, what are the things that I need to have done? So I need to get a lease completed for these two things. So I can come in here and just like, okay, got it done, get it done. And then I can just come in here and just check it off really quickly. And I don't need to see everything else, because I'm not going to be uploading any files in here. I'm not going to be doing anything. It's just, I need to know what needs to get done right away.
Exactly. And it's perfect if you are working, specifically if you're working virtually with a transaction coordinator.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that person no longer needs to be physically in your office. You know, you're not physically handing them the contract to say, you know, fax this, scan this. You can upload everything, and everything as far as the transaction can be done virtually. And this just easily meshes everything together.
Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, I think that it's something that you can use in conjunction with a virtual assistant, most definitely. And then these are nice too, where you can just, if you're one of those people that likes to print a lot, you could even print this out. So then you know, tack it up next to your chair, next to your desk, and you can see what needs to be done and just cross it off and then come back and just check off as you go here. One of the questions is saying if we have conditional logic that can add to the checklist. And I think what you're asking for is like, if it's this, then you do this type of thing. And so that's where the templates come back into play, where I really think that, you know, a lot of people have like a buyer's template, and Tamara, you tell me if this is how you do it, where it's just for any kind of property. But then there can be, you can do like a buyer's template for, you know, condos. And that's slightly different than what you would do for a single family, because with a single family, they might not have an HOA, but condos for sure they will. And then there's a few different changes that you have to have there. So I would say that's where the templates come into play, where you would select that proper template in order to do the items that you need to do. Is that how you use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're all about, you know, this business is all about systems. And, you know, like I said, I'm happy to share mine, and you guys please rip off and duplicate, you know, take it and either build upon it or take away. And if you have something that you want to share, by all means, you know, because if we can all do better by our clients and in the industry, I think it's a benefit to everybody.
Yeah. And I think that's so gracious of you, and that's so kind of you. I think that's part of like what we're trying to build here with the Wise Agent community on Facebook, is really connecting with other people as well. So they don't have to be in your market or in your area, but they can be, I guess. And just brainstorming from people across the country, and seeing what they're doing, and just trying to help them with what they can do as well. So, and bounce ideas off of people for sure.
Sure thing. And I did put my email address in the chat,
Okay.
tamzu@movingtonova.com.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, and we'll make sure that we get that out to everyone in the replay email too.
Sure.
So everyone can get that and get a hold of you. So yeah, one of the other things is, I know with the commission tracker. So when we first came out with that, I think you had given us quite a few suggestions on that. That's how we started talking, right?
Yes.
Through the commission tracker.
Yes.
Through the commission tracker. So one of the ways that you can use it is, you can use it when you're already in a checklist and have your commission here, and you can just come in and add all this into your from your checklist in here. So that's new.
And thank you so much, by the way, for adding the ability to track rentals. Thank you. Yeah. Because, you know, when you're working with a lot of military, a lot of that demographic, they do decide to rent. So it's good to be able to not have to revert back to my spreadsheet and be able to keep that in Wise Agent. So thank you for adding that.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And I know, you know, so for everyone else out there, it's not that I'm giving, you know, preferential treatment or anything like that. You know,
it was a post that I posted in the Facebook group, you know, hey, can you add this?
And that's, you know, a lot of how we built Wise Agent they've come through, you know, suggestions from our users, like, hey, if you do this, and then like plead your case, right? So, you know, saying, you know, I need to have this in here. And I see someone is saying, I want to add commission for referral transactions. Tamara and I were talking last night. Tamara and I were talking last night.
They're my new best friend.
She was like, okay, there's one more thing that I need. And yes, so we are, and literally we just talked about this, it's on my list of things to talk to my developers about. But yes, because there is you know, this referral based business is a huge thing, and a lot of people are you know, are utilizing that and utilizing our referral tree. So
absolutely,
you know, and so next week I'm not doing a webinar. We're going to be at the not physically there, but we're doing the virtual California Association of Realtors Expo, their Reimagine Expo. And then also we are going to be with Grant Wise and his video marketing event that he's hosting and we're participating in. So I'm not having but then the following week, I'm talking to another one of our users who I met through our Facebook community, Kevin Cooper, and we're going to be talking about a referral-based business and how that and how he's pivoted to that. So
thank you, Charmaine Washington, for your recommendation. Yes. I am on them about adding the commissions to be able to track for referral transactions. So thank you.
And so with the commission report, and I do see value in that, and that's what I told Tamara last night. I see value in it because you do want to see how much of your business is being, you know, coming in from, you know, straight sales that are just leads that you're coming from. We already have that ability to track those leads. and see those metrics through our reports, and I'll share that in a minute. But then also to see it now through rental, and then
Yes.
show it from your referrals. And I think
yes, because agents, like me, who've been in for 20 plus years, we're not getting younger. We're going to be doing more referrals, but we still want to hold on to our CRM.
Yeah.
Mike asks, can you show us one more time how to add an outside member like Tamara?
Okay, I can definitely do that. Let's see, where's my share button? That is not it. All right, so if I am in Wise Agent, and again, you guys, this is something that our support can help you with, absolutely. Just by going to the outside team page here and then just clicking on the request. Let me open this up in a new tab because I wanted to show this commission page here. And then just adding that request. So you'll need Tamara's name or her email address, I'm sorry, to send that request. So then you just click on add team member here and then type in her email address here and send her the request, and that will be added. So, and that's something, if at any time you need any kind of help or support, our team is literally, you can email, you can call, you can do online chat, you can do whatever it is, use our knowledge base. I know Tamara loves using our recorded classes. This is,
yes.
So we have all sorts of different tools. If you're, everyone learns things differently. So
yes.
It's not, we're kind of like 31 flavors. So however you learn best, I think we can serve you with that, with whatever.
So Eleni, I have a question before you touch on that. So once someone adds me, will I get an email? How will I be notified if someone is adding me as an outside team member?
Yeah, so you will get a notification. So you'll see your bell, this little bell here ringing, and you'll get the notification there saying you received a notification to be added as a team member.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so that's how that will work. But what I was saying about the help is that if you, use our YouTube videos and our YouTube channel. So we've got a ton of videos and we keep adding to those. And then you can even just type in here. So you can say outside team. So, share an appointment, you can share clients, you can, adding an outside team member, anything, it's all in here for you. And so you can see how exactly to do this. Okay.
Great.
And then we also share and post our phone number. So if you guys are like, I just want to talk to somebody, I need that help. So you can just click on our contact us page and fill out either this form, and you can do the email thing, or if you want to just give us a call, you can give us a call as well. So those are the various ways of getting in touch with us. Okay.
Great. And I would just encourage everybody to, hang out on the Facebook group and be more active, because usually whatever question you have, odds are 10 other people have that same question. And like I said, I have developed an accountability group from Facebook groups, and, you'd be surprised at what you learn from people outside of your market area. People just trying to do the things that you're trying to do, just trying to grow their business and trying to learn how to do it better. So, we can help each other. So please be more active in the community so that we can help each other.
Exactly. And then we have, Sarah Webb, she's on this webinar. She does a great job. She's does a great job facilitating that group as well. And I'm an admin on that group as well. So I'll jump in occasionally as well and answer a question, or, connect people offline maybe. Definitely, because I think there's definitely things that you all can help one another doing, because things are different in different markets and in different areas. So definitely take advantage of that. I think that's great. And there's Sarah, she's saying hi to everyone. And yeah. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you all about was the commission report, and the best way to utilize this, I think, is definitely in conjunction with our transactions for sure. But then if you're new to Wise Agent, and we're already in the 10th month of the year, but if you're new and you're, just wanting, like, I don't want to go in and do all these transactions, then you can definitely just use the commission report on its own and not go back to do all the checklist stuff. So you can go back and come in here and say, this is going to be their completed date or projection date, and I can go back and backdate this. So then you can see from January 1st, so you can kind of keep track of that, even though we're already towards the end of the year. So it's definitely something that's doable, that you can, start utilizing right now.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Right. And then, of course, if you're on a team, Wise Agent is team friendly, so you can see what, if you're on a team, what everyone is doing, and tracking that is something that's important to be able to do, is tracking what your team members are doing as well. All right, so I think someone's asking a question. Is it possible to transport Dropbox files to Wise Agent to our client files? So definitely, with if you go to your contact summary page and you want to upload any files here, so you can do this either through transactions or attaching files. Here you can just click on attach files. This will come up with a dialog box for you to upload any of your files here and get that started. So you can definitely add those and then add a description to it, and even it will automatically add the date updated here, uploaded here as well. So this has been great. Oh, there's Brandon. Okay, so Brandon Wise, our CEO, is on here too. So
hi, Brandon.
So definitely, I think what's really great, Tamara, is that you're willing to share your templates and share the knowledge that you have, and even having accountability. So I'm going to just kind of put it out there. If you guys are wanting to start your own accountability, or maybe join Tamara's and her accountability, or start a different one with Tamara, I think that's great, being able to have that, where you have that relationship with people that will hold you accountable, but also help you in your pursuit of doing great things. And
yeah, I think I have to admit, I was really amazed at how the industry took charge once COVID hit. Everybody really stepped up to the plate in terms of the Zoom classes, the Facebook Live events. And so I was able to meet a lot of people. And even though I love to travel and go to conferences, I feel like I've been able to meet more fellow agents now as a result of COVID, because of all of the online sharing and collaboration that's going on. So that makes me feel good as a realtor, and it makes me proud of our industry, the fact that we are stepping up to help each other, so that we can help consumers during this time. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is wonderful, and something
Now I see that there's some in the Q&A. Are you able to see that? I think we got everybody in the chat as far as questions. It looks like there's some in Q&A. I just want to make sure we don't leave anybody out.
Yeah, Jorge's asking, how many templates does the system allow? So there's no limit on the number of templates. So you can add as many as you'd like, and let me mark that as answered there. But yeah, so you can add as many templates for your transactions as you'd like. We really don't put we don't, unless we're forced to by some other entity, like with our Google Sync. There's no limits, right? So there's no limits on how many contacts you have in there, how many categories. When you do sync over to Google, there is a limit. You can only sync over, I believe it was 25,000 people, so which is still a good majority of people.
Yeah.
So we try not to limit in anything that we do in Wise Agent. But yeah, that's definitely, and one of the and can you edit and add tasks for a checklist? Yes. So even if you've started a checklist, and maybe you even have a checklist template that has, these 20 or whatever, 100 things that you have to do, we do have this other option. So if there's something that's like one off that just needs to happen with this one transaction, you're like, oh, I need to have whatever it is, this document or this thing that I have to do for this one checklist, we have what's called additional tasks that are those like one-off things that you have to do just for that one thing, and you can add it to that portion of it. So that's how that would work. So you could have your templates set up properly and then add any one-offs to that extra portion of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See, these people, they're giving me ideas. I'm like, can I use that? How can I use that?
Yes. And so
great questions.
Exactly. And so I think, you know, and then we do have, let's see, someone, Frank is asking about the currency symbols. So Frank, it seems like he's from Nigeria. So you want to add different currencies. And so we do have that when you're, so it's forward facing. So if you're facing the consumer on something like a property flyer, you can change the symbol there within the commission and also the goal tracker. And I think those are the two places that we have like the dollar value. And I think even on the
that's cool.
The buyer search criteria, we have a dollar symbol in there, and not that's not changeable, but we are working our way through changing those symbols. So we should be getting to those pretty soon here. So Frank will keep you posted. Let me jot down your name.
Awesome.
Frank,
thank you, Angel Lynn. I see that you sent me a message. So thank you. I will be on the lookout for that once we log off, and I'd be more than happy to send you my templates.
Yeah. And so if anyone, and I know you put it in here, what we'll do is we'll make sure that when we send out this recording, we'll include Tamara's email address, so then you guys can send her a request through Wise Agent to get her templates, and she can share things through there. And then the other things that you can share from there are definitely, you can share clients and client information if that's what you choose to do. That's nice if you're, you know, maybe on a team or in the same office and you want to share something, but also for referrals. And then the other thing that you can also share, which is really powerful, is marketing drip campaigns and letters and newsletters even. So you can create a whole entire drip campaign within Wise Agent and share that out. So Tamara, it looks like you're getting lots of requests here. So I'm gonna post, there's Tamara's email. Because it's going to be a little overwhelming for her to reach out to everybody else. So if you all want to reach out to her and she'll accept,
bring it. Just bring it. I'm happy to share. You know, like I said, it's the least I can do. I'm overwhelmed with how our industry just stepped up to the plate as a result of COVID, and I'm happy to contribute. So feel free to email me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, you know, we're running low here on time, but unless you guys have any questions, Tamara, thank you so much for
it's my pleasure.
For your knowledge and you being on this webinar. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any, can I do a shameless plug?
Yes, go for it, of course.
If you guys have any military clients who are PCSing to the Pentagon, Fort Belvoir, Quantico, or Andrews Air Force Base, please, I would be more than happy to take excellent care of your referrals. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. And I think we're going to need to post that even in our community. So then we can have, you know, any kind of those interactions, because the referrals can be sent through, you know, if you're connected as outside team members and you have a referral, you don't have to send an email, a full email introducing this client. I mean, you can do that, but sending her all of the information can be done with one click through Wise Agent, just to share it over and be able to give her that information. And then you do your intro email for the referral.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a great way of doing that too. So thank you so much, Tamara, for your kindness and for sharing your knowledge. And thank you everyone for attending. I appreciate it. I just did see one thing from Ed. He is testing for his license next week. So yeah.
All right, Ed. That's awesome. You got this.
And he says that afterwards he will be signing up for Wise Agent. That's awesome. You appreciate, so we appreciate you being here, Ed. Thank you so much. And he's going to be reaching out to you, Tamara, for your template. So
absolutely, I'm happy to help.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Good luck to you, Ed, and good luck to everybody else. All right. Everyone, thank you so much. I'll see you guys.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.